Fighting with your lover is just the worst. Believe you me, I know. I have had so many times where I was just like, oh my god, why can't he hear what I'm saying? Or where I would see that he would get so frustrated because I wouldn't communicate in a way where he could understand me. And it's one of the worst things in the world when really most of the time there isn't really anything to argue about, and somehow you just clash, and then it gets worse and worse, and then one runs away and the other one gets hurt, and both get hurt, and then there's this rift between you guys where there shouldn't be one. And so, my name is Carolin Hauser. I'm your love and intimacy coach, and I have this YouTube channel that I publish videos on intimacy and how you can create a blissful union, because I believe that that's why we're here on earth, to have the best life possible and to have an amazingly, deeply, emotionally, spiritually, blissfully connected union. That's the icing on the cake. And so for you to not miss any of my videos, subscribe to my channel. You can do that by clicking the bell below right next to my subscriber number. Right now I publish videos Mondays through Fridays, 9 a.m. Pacific time. They're on topics around intimacy, communicating, energy, feminine and masculine energy principles, understanding, and also bonding-based lovemaking, which is a way of lovemaking that creates or promotes harmony and playfulness and a deep connection between the couples. But today's video is about how to stop fighting and how to be able to communicate so that he can hear you, or that she can hear you, so that you don't have to have your unions ripped apart by misunderstandings. Because that's most of the times what it is. It's like somebody's talking Chinese and the other one is talking English, and both don't understand each other's languages, and then it just gets ugly. So, before I dive into the content though, I want to make sure that you know that you can comment anytime, ask questions, let me know if this is making sense. And also, why should you listen to me? I'm just this blonde person that's popping up on YouTube, right, that you've probably never met before. If you've met me before, and you know who I am, just humor me so I can do my introduction. I'm from Germany. I was trained as a naturopathic doctor and humanistic psychotherapist, and my unique brilliance is to shift energy, and I've done that for myself, and I've done it for many, many people, thousands probably at this point, for the last 20 years, because in my experience and being in this field of helping people really bring out the best in themselves and have the best life possible, including the best relationships, what I've realized is that the fastest way to creating any kind of change is by focusing on energy and teaching you energetic principles, because energy is instant, and it doesn't have to take years and years of digging deep into your psyche and really figuring every little nook and cranny out. When you work with energy, things can happen, shifts can happen very quickly, because you basically become of a different vibration. There's low vibrational frequencies, there's high vibrational frequencies, and depending on where you're at, whether in a low vibrational state of being or in a high vibrational state of being, you think and act and perceive completely differently. So part of not fighting anymore, part of the recipe for not fighting anymore, is you knowing how to get yourself into a high vibrational state, because when you're in a high vibrational state, you are a peaceful being. A peaceful being doesn't argue. Even if somebody came at you with a negative energy, you wouldn't perceive it as a threat. You wouldn't perceive it as something that you have to defend. You wouldn't perceive it as some attack on yourself. You would perceive it as probably the other person needing something, or them not loving themselves, or you would see right through it, basically. It wouldn't threaten you, and it wouldn't create conflict. So, what are some things that you can do to keep yourself in a high vibrational state of being? We as human beings are made up of 4 levels: the energetic, the physical, the spiritual, and the emotional. And there's things you can do on all these levels, and I've created other videos that talk about that, but just briefly, food has a very important role for me. If I'm mainly plant-based and off dairy and off gluten, I am way less grumpy, if that's even a word. I'm a much better person. I'm much more patient. I'm much more kind. I'm much more loving when I'm well fed and not just eating crap and sugar and that kind of stuff. Even though fruit sugar is really good for you, so I just want to make a disclaimer. Sugar in itself is not bad, as long as it's fruit sugar. So high fruit, high vegetable, minimal animal, and minimal gluten is what keeps me high vibrational. See it for yourself, see how you feel. And if you want more help, like I said, I can help you and give you more specific guidelines. You can apply for a free session with me. They're free of charge, and I can go into a little bit more detail about what that entails. Energetically, get help with integrating your traumas. Like, go to healers. Go to someone like me that knows how to do healing work on an emotional and energetic level, because, I didn't get to where I am without getting the help from other people. We need help. You can't expect to help in all areas of yourself. You can't heal your own traumas. There's stuff that you can do, but what you can do is hiring somebody that's their specialties, helping you with those kinds of things with the emotional. Talk therapy will not cut it. On a spiritual level, have a practice. Do something that keeps you connected to your spirit and to the universe and source at large. Because when you have a sense of being connected, then when you're feeling overwhelmed, you can hand it over. Right? Oftentimes, the reason why we get into fights, I'm talking from my experiences, because I'm overwhelmed, because I'm run down, because I'm not getting my needs met. And so if I have a spiritual practice where I tune in with myself in the mornings, I can have a preventative measure set in place so that even before the day begins, I can feel if there's niggles of me not getting something. This is true for guys too. Everything I'm sharing up until this point is true for both men and women. And just get into a practice or into a habit of really tuning into what you need and doing the best you can to provide that for yourself. Because when you are resourced and when you're provided for by yourself for the things that you can do, right, don't expect your partner to do all of it. Be grateful for the things that he does or she does, and do the things that you can. And maybe you guys have to work together. Maybe neither of you are getting your needs met right now because you're both super strapped and stressed because of money, the kids, the dog, the household, the whatever. If I, as a single parent with no family support in this country because my family is in Germany, if I've been able to create a life where I have spaciousness and where I can take care of myself and make money and have everything taken care of, so can you. I promise it's possible. It's just a matter of knowing that it's possible and then finding the ways and connecting to your creativity and working together. Knowing that you deserve to feel okay and not be run down. And then the biggest thing when it comes to not fighting is to know about energy in a different way. So not just low and high vibrational energy, but also to know that we are made of two energy streams, the feminine and the masculine. We both come from these sides. And as long as we have conflict within ourselves, within these aspects, and as long as we don't know how to really relate to each other from these energies, we run in trouble in relationships. So when I work with couples, I work a lot on helping them each individually integrate the feminine and masculine. Men have a feminine, women have a masculine. We all have a wounded feminine and a wounded masculine, and a healthy feminine and a healthy masculine. And ideally, we move more and more into integration so that we relate to each other from our whole. The feminine and the masculine are one whole actually together, right? And so when we have the feminine and the masculine whole within ourselves, then that shows up in our relationships, and then there will be no fighting. Because you come to each other from a place of wholeness, and even if the other person says something that might feel like you're stepping on your toes or she's, scratching, you're capable enough to be compassionate and kind in that moment. And so you're not going to be a person that fights anymore. And I used to be a person that was very easily offended. I was super sensitive. I'm still very sensitive. I'm a very sensitive person because of the work that I do. But I've learned over time to learn about these energies and help. My masculine has gotten strong enough to hold my feminine's emotions, for example, so that when I'm upset, I don't vomit onto my guy. I might still cry, I might still not know really, I might still be all over the place, but I've learned energetically to come to him in a way where it doesn't feel like he's being bombarded with darts, which when we're upset, men take it really personally and it feels like we're attacking them. And even though we're not, we're just completely just wanting help, right? But we're our energy is they're whoa! And then they go, wah! And then we're no! And then it just becomes this tug of war where they just want to run away and collapse, and we are so triggered by feeling like they're abandoning us and can't be there for us. So when we learn about our energies and when we learn to work with our feminine and masculine energy, lots can happen. So a couple specific tips for you guys. There's really just one thing to learn, and that one thing is probably 10 times harder than all the 20, 30, 40, 50 things women can do with their energy in regards to you. So, for you guys, do not pay attention to her words. Do not try to figure out what she's really saying. Most likely, she doesn't even know. She's confused. If you can be a loving presence and just be there and just kind of like receive the whatever is coming at you, if you could just be like somebody standing there and say, okay, just give it to me, I'll hold it, I'll look at it with you, we don't have to figure this out right this moment, I'm just being a container. Like if you can think of yourself as a container where she can just dump stuff in, where you don't take it personally, where you know it's probably not about you, where you can just be there, a container for her, even though it's so uncomfortable. That's why I'm saying this might be harder than anything else the women have to do, because it goes so against your nature and you're just wanting to run away. There is tools that I can teach you where it makes it easier for you to have those uncomfortable feelings and be with them. So if you can do that, you'll see that very quickly she'll calm down and melt into your arms, and you'll be her absolute hero, I promise, if you can do that. And for women, try when you're really super upset, first of all, realize that you have feelings and try to communicate your feelings instead of saying, but you and you did and you always check in with yourself and see what the feeling really is, and come to him and say, hey honey, I am feeling so exhausted right now, I'm feeling so confused, I'm feeling so overwhelmed, I'm feeling mad at you, I'm feeling like whatever it is. Try to get in touch with your feelings and communicate the feeling first, because then it will feel less like you're attacking him. And then it's easier for him to be there and hold you and be there for you. Also, in terms of your energy, ideally, well, first of all, the masculine always responds to the feminine energy. So when your energy is like this coming at him, he will be like this, going away from you. So if you can be upset and at the same time not be like that, but be like this, like if you can say, honey, like I'm not like, I'm like, honey, this really didn't feel good to me. See how my energy stayed with me, and I'm leaning back right now so you can see it. Like, it's better to do if you're against the wall or a chair that has a backrest, so you could literally like lean yourself back, or you could even lean into him or lean into yourself. But whatever you can do to keep your energy from that's very masculine, forward-directed energy, and men don't respond good to that because they don't want to be with another guy, they want to be with a woman. What's inviting to them is when we're like in our bodies and when we're relaxed. So for us, one of the tasks is to learn to know that our feelings are valid, and that guys want to help us and they want to be there for us, and they can, and it's easier for them if we find a way to not be, there's nothing wrong with you having emotions, but sometimes they come out in a little bit of a too intense way. So if you can learn to feel your emotions and have them, but communicate them in a way that they're not being, or it's not bombarding the other person, then you will also go a long way in your communications. And when you're in the middle of a fight, if you as a woman just remember to observe yourself, and most likely you're like this, forward and like, clenched jaw and stuff, if you in that moment can remember to take a deep breath and just relax and shift your energy and get away from the words, right? Get away from, because most of the time we fight about stupid things. They make no sense. It's all about our feelings and not feeling heard and not feeling understood. And so if we can shift back into a space where we're connected to ourselves and try to feel our love and heart space, then our partner can follow us. So women, remember, the masculine follows the feminine. So if you shift, he will follow you. And in all my years in relationships and all the training I have had, learning this piece and applying it has been the one that was possible, because for the most part, when you're triggered, it's really, really hard to remember any of this. So train this, make it a habit when you're having a conversation to observe yourself and see if you're forward leaning or if you're like relaxed and in your body and paying attention to yourself. You can feel your butt on the chair. That's a good way of getting yourself into your body as a woman. So I hope this was helpful. I have a free masterclass that teaches couples how to reconnect and create blissful, deeply connected, physically bonded, emotionally, spiritually fulfilling unions. The link for that class is below. Again, comment, tell me, was this helpful? Do you want more on something? I make videos based on what you guys want to hear. If you like this video, like it. Again, subscribe to my channel. And the link to the free Facebook group, all the links to all the resources I've shared are in the description below. You also can have a free session with me exploring your relationship issues and seeing how I would help you or what I think you need to do in order to get it to the place that you want. You absolutely deserve to have an amazing love life, and it's absolutely possible to have peaceful and harmonious unions. Check out my related videos, and I'll see you in the next video. All my love to you. Bye bye. Check out my related videos, and I'll see you in the next video. All my love to you. Bye bye.